Hi, my name is Gabi.
And I'm Tommy.
And this is Richmond Comix News. Today's topic, we're actually going to be covering something called Free Comic Book Day. So what is Free Comic Book Day?
Free Comic Book Day is one day a year where the industry celebrates comic books, basically. It started in when the first Spider-Man movie came out many, many years ago. I think it was 2002. And since then, every year, whenever there's a big movie, that's when they place Free Comic Book Day. It's the first Saturday in May every year.
And this year, it's actually going to be on May 2nd?
May 2nd, that's correct.
Yes. And what movie is it going to be connected with?
Avengers Age of Ultron, possibly the biggest movie in the history of movies ever.
I know, I'm excited. What is the big motivator behind doing Free Comic Book Day every year?
Honestly, it's community building. I see people every year that I really only see on Free Comic Book Day. They come in, they get their comics, they get super excited about the free books, and then they usually pick up something, even if it's not associated with whatever the free books are that year. It's something they're excited about. Giving away a couple thousand free comics is a lot of goodwill.
What kind of effect do you think it has on the community?
On the community? Well, I mean, people that don't normally read comics. They go to the movies, they watch these TV shows, they hear about, especially Marvel Comics in the media right now, they're so big. And what they do is they come in and they kind of test the waters a little bit. Maybe they're not normally a comic book reader. Maybe it's somebody who hasn't read comics since they were a little kid. And they come in, they get a free book. And it's kind of, especially with Marvel, they do their big events for Free Comic Book Day. They set it up to just the most excitement that they can put out there in a free comic.
So it's good for publicity's sake, but it also helps the small businesses because it brings you a lot of new customers?
Absolutely. I see more people on Free Comic Book Day than any other day of the year. It is always our busiest day. People line up outside the door an hour before we open just to get in here, and it's exciting.
So what kind of events are you having this year?
Well, we always have a bunch of super talented local artists. There's a couple different studios. Iconography, Freestyle Ronin, those guys are all going to be here. They're here every year. They're incredibly talented. This year we have, for the first time, the 501st Legion. So we'll have a bunch of stormtroopers in the house, so you can get your pictures taken with some pretty cool guys dressed as stormtroopers.
They're all pretty awesome. What should the normal comic book person expect on Free Comic Book Day when they come here? Absolute
Insanity. You're going to see hundreds of people who love the thing that you love. Or if they don't love it yet, they will soon after. It's the most exciting day. It's Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July, all rolled up into one with a bunch of free comics. We also, for us at Richmond Comix, we have sales that day that are better than sales that we do the rest of the year, just because we're so excited about Free Comic Book Day.
Do you have any titles off the top of your head that are really awesome?
Well, this year, Marvel's big event, Secret Wars, is the biggest book of the year. We've got a copy of it right here. Everyone who walks in the door will walk out with a copy of Secret Wars. We have ordered a quintillion number of these, so everyone will get one. It's the kickoff of the biggest story that Marvel's ever told. They've been building towards us for 5 years, and I can't wait. It is incredibly cool.
What other books are coming out on that day?
Well, every year DC puts out some books. There's always a new Archie, always a new Sonic the Hedgehog. There's this year we've got a Pokemon X and Y comic. 2000 AD always has a nice little Judge Dredd book. There's so many comics. There's literally dozens of comics, and I'm pretty excited about all of them.
So I'm guessing from the different kinds of books that you threw in there, it's a very family-friendly...
Yes, absolutely. It's very much geared towards... A lot of it's geared towards a younger audience. Of course, Marvel and DC, their books are typically aimed at the 16 and up crowd, so that's kind of where those are aiming. However, Marvel's other big book this year is All New, All Different Avengers, which includes some of their best teen heroes. We're getting the new Nova, we're getting the new Ms. Marvel, and we're getting Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales. So we've got these teen heroes teamed up with Captain America, who used to be the Falcon. We've got Vision, we've got some version of Iron Man, and the Lady Thor. And it's an incredible team. I will say that I have read the book, and of everything from Free Comic Book Day, that is the one I'm most excited about.
I can't wait. Honestly, Ms. Marvel and Lady Thor have been my favorite things to read this whole summer, winter, and it's just, and it's just awesome. What else can we expect from any other big comic book other than Secret Wars and All New Avengers? Anything else that stood out?
Well, the one book that really stood out to me, for those of you who've been following Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there was a huge controversy in a recent issue where Donatello had some issues, a little bit of tragedy. So the Free Comic Book Day book is going to pick up after that and tell you exactly what's going on with that character. Is he alive? Is he dead? Is he something else? You'll find out on Free Comic Book Day.
So now that we've gotten past the cool and awesome things like Secret Wars, can you explain to us a bit more about the procedural side of things? Like, how many books do I get?
Absolutely. Like I said before, every single person that walks in the door will walk out with a Secret Wars number 0. Kicks off the whole big shebang. Besides that, you get to choose any 4 books that we have laid out, and there are a ton of great titles this year. Now, if you're a family, what we ask is that, if your son gets these 4 books, maybe you get these 4 books. We try not to overlap in families because the quantities are limited. These are things that we do pay for, even though they're free. So we try to limit it to, other than Secret Wars, 1 book per family.
So pretty much I can pick up any book that I want, just in any 4 combination.
Yes.
And then I'll get also the secret book, Secret Wars.
You will also get Secret Wars, yes.
Okay.
So every person that walks in will walk out with 5 free comic books, one of which is the culmination of 5 long years of awesome stories.
So basically, for our viewers who don't know what Secret Wars is, so for example, me, I just recently picked up into Marvel. What do I need to know in order to be able to read this and not just go, what?
Well, the first thing you need to know is that this story is the culmination of the biggest single story I have ever read. Jonathan Hickman, who came off of a 4.5-year run of Fantastic Four where he told 1 story, pitched this to Marvel about 5 years ago. And he's been writing Avengers and New Avengers and plotting Avengers World. So it's 3 separate titles, most of which come out twice a month. And all 3 of these books have been telling the same story leading up to this. I don't mean to say that every book is telling the exact same part of the story. They're all giving you pieces of it, and it's all been leading to this.
All for the last 5 years.
For basically the last 5 years. Everything Marvel's done, Age of Ultron, the Beasts going back in time to bring the teenage X-Men to the present, Spider-Verse, everything. All of this is different layers of the same giant tapestry.
That seems really epic.
It is. It is. I'm unapologetically a huge Hickman fanboy. I have enjoyed every single thing the man has ever written, and I can honestly say I've never been this excited for an event book. Usually Marvel's event books are big and epic and they're exciting, but they've never had this kind of level of lead-in.
Well, for those of us who don't know, what's an event book?
An event book is pretty much every summer, Marvel and DC do some big epic mini-series that branches out all over the place, and it touches a lot of different facets of their universe and involves a multitude of characters, typically. And at the end of that, something is usually fundamentally changed. During Secret Invasion, we found out there were Skrulls that had infiltrated the entire world, and there were superheroes that were secretly Skrulls, and that changed the dynamic. It ended up putting Norman Osborn in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a year. This is the same kind of thing. It's a huge, epic story that at the end of it, everything changes. Now, Marvel's already told us at their press conference, the first issue of Secret Wars, which comes out the Wednesday after Free Comic Book Day, so you don't have a lot of time to wait between the 0 issue and the first issue. The first issue of Secret Wars, everything dies.
Oh.
Everything.
That's not nice.
That's the beginning of the story.
Like everything?
So in the Avengers books for the last few years, they've been having these things they call incursions, where different alternate reality Earths are encroaching in and colliding with each other. And our Avengers and our Illuminati have been working on trying to keep these incursions from destroying our Earth. So what they have discovered recently is that there are only 2 Earths left. There is the Marvel 616, which is the universe that we all know and love, with the normal Avengers and X-Men and Spider-Man and everything that we know. And the other one that's left is the Ultimate Universe, which is
So Miles Morales.
Miles Morales, the incredible Spider-Man clone Jessica Drew, one of the some of the best characters that Marvel has done in the last 15 years were in the Ultimate Universe. And that world is going to collide with the regular universe, and that's the end.
So now we have two universes that most of the fan base is very familiar and endeared with.
Yes.
And one of them is going to die.
No, both of them are going to die.
Both of them are going to die.
Yes, what we're going to get out of this, the aftermath, is called Battle World. And for those of you who remember Secret Wars from the 80s, the Beyonder took a bunch of Earth's heroes and villains and put them on this rock and said, "Fight for my amusement." Well, it turns out that is a baby Beyonder playing with new toys, and we have met the grown-ups. And the grown-ups are no joke. They are out there killing these giant cosmic entities with no problem. Just ease.
So they're just playing billiards and
that's,
throwing worlds at each other.
That is kind of what it seems like. But if you go back to Age of Ultron, which was an event a couple years ago, during this event, Wolverine kept going back in time and trying to change things. And at the end of that event, Wolverine broke time.
I remember.
Time fractures and nothing is as it's supposed to be. Jump forward a few years and you look at the Guardians 3000 book, which are the Guardians of the Galaxy set hundreds of years in the future. Time is ending and encroaching backwards. And this is all part of the same giant story that Hickman has been telling for the last few years. So all of this comes together. The mechanism that runs the universe is somehow broken, which is where the big Infinity storyline that came out last summer, which is really just a prelude to this.
Oh.
Huge intergalactic war, Thanos comes to Earth, shenanigans ensue. So much fun. Just
Basically,
a prelude.
Thanks, Wolverine.
Yes. I choose to blame Hank Pym.
Hank Pym?
Hank Pym. It's all Hank's fault. It usually is. So what we're going to find after the world's end, what we're going to find is something called Battle World, which is similar to what the original Beyonder did back in the 80s when he brought all the heroes and villains to his Battle World. But instead of there being just this landscape where he throws people in arenas, each continent in this Battle World is cut up into different countries, and each country is a different storyline in the history of the Marvel Universe. We're going to get Age of Apocalypse. We're going to get an area that I'm not familiar with called Hollow Field, where there is an entire core of Captain Marvels. The Carol Corps is what they're being called. We're going to get a book out of this called Thors, where all these different Thors from all these different realities are the policemen of Battle World. We get to see what would have happened had Peter and Mary Jane's daughter not disappeared into the ether back in the 90s. We're going to get a bunch of different stories that are fan favorites from the history of the Marvel Universe in one giant story. Now, of course, because Marvel likes to do miniseries, there's going to be about 400 miniseries tying into the main series. What I would recommend is go to Marvel.com, check out these different books, see which ones seem right to you. Let your local comic shop, even if it's not me, let your local comic shop know which of these titles you want, and that will ensure that you will get the books that you desire.
I assume they're going to be very high in demand.
I would think so. This is the biggest story Marvel has ever told. As far as I can tell, it's the biggest story comics has ever told. I know that I am super excited.
You made me excited.
We will have, at least the main book, we will have a ton of it because I am invested in this story heavily and I cannot wait.
That is so exciting. So essentially, just in Secret Wars originally, they would have these small fights and whoever lived kept going.
Right.
This is going to be each event. So for example, Civil War is going to play out.
Yeah, there's a section in Battle World where Civil War is happening. I don't know what that means.
All over again.
I don't know what it means. I don't know what that entails. Is Captain America going to keep getting shot over and over? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm really excited to see what's going to happen.
Do you think they're also going to do the X-Men versus Avengers again?
I think X-Men versus Avengers is one of the sections. I cannot remember off the top of my head. I can tell you that Age of Ultron is going to cross over with Marvel Zombies, which is going to get a lot of people excited. From what I understand, and I've only read snippets of things, Ultron is trying to keep the zombies in check, so he's the good guy in this one.
Ultron is the good guy.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like.
That would be really weird.
It would. But Ultron's the villain in Avengers: Age of Ultron. I think he's high profile. He's a high profile character right now, and I think anything with the Ultron name, people are going to at least be curious. What is this about? You add the Marvel Zombies on top of that, which are a fan favorite for many years, and I think you've got a pretty cool book on your hands.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. Is there anything else that you want to point out about Free Comic Book Day?
Yeah, absolutely. Show up early. We will be here from 11 a.m. until the books will probably run out around 5, but we'll be open till 9. So if there's any stragglers you can't get here earlier in the day, come on by. We could possibly have some stuff left over. And also the sale will be going on.
There's a sale?
There's a sale. There's always a sale on Free Comic Book Day. It's the biggest day of the year. We celebrate as hard as we can. So pretty much everything on the store will be on sale. The details for what's on sale can be found at our Facebook page and at our website, richmondcomics.com, the Thursday before Free Comic Book Day. So April 31st. April 31st, we will have all the details for the sale up on our website.
And obviously, you'll be able to see everything linked on the description below. Well, guys, like I said, my name is Maria Gabriela Gabi Ochoa Perez.
I'm Tommy.
And this is Richmond Comix News. Please subscribe, like us, share us anywhere that you feel like telling your friends about us. We're going to be covering a lot of information on comic book news, obviously. Current events. We're going to do lore events. We're going to make sure we keep you up to date on what you need to know about comic books.
Magic, Pokemon.
Oh, Magic, Pokemon.
Community events. We're going to if you're a nerd,
just
like
subscribe. That's it. Click that button, subscribe, click on his face to go to the Facebook page, click on my face to go to our website. That's it, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks.